We are downtown and they have the sign on the building that says City Center. You see it right there? So this is the first time I've been down Main in a few weeks. Probably since the last time I showed you. It's probably been at least a month. And so we had not actually seen the building in a long time, and they're doing something to this one. It looks like they're adding on like apartments or something to the top. And they usually have the farmer's market down here. Yeah, right in under here is where they do the farmer's market, and they sell, looks like they're selling plants and stuff like that today. But we're on our way to the Lexington Cemetery. I know I showed you twice last week, the Lexington Cemetery, but as I said, you have to come. I wonder what the string is for.
Weird stuff.
So the reason we're coming to the cemetery is because to see the tulips, because you have to come at the right time or you will miss them, or you will miss them completely. So that's what we're hoping to see, is some tulips. And over here, there used to be a bridge. There used to be a bridge that went across the street and they tore it down. But you can't see that from here. So we're up front and it looks like we're still a little bit early because there are a lot that still have not come out yet.
Pretty down here?
Oh yeah, it's really pretty down there. They have a public restroom here, and I don't know if a lot of people are aware of that or not, but even during the weekends, when this building is actually closed, when the office is actually closed, you can always come down here and go to the public bathroom. And I think that's because they have indoor cremains in there, and people have to be able to go in and visit with their loved ones. These flowers are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love them. So, and they're big and hardy. Look how big that is. I'm going to show you down here. I'm not going to walk down there because it's muddy, but you can see a lot of the old. I see a blue jay. I doubt I'll be able to zoom. Oh, there's two of them. Am I going to be able to zoom in on it before it leaves? Do you see them? They didn't stay long, did they? But this is the older section down here, where you can see they have places like this. And I think there's one right under here too, in the side of this hill. And there's one way over there. See that red brick? There's one over there too. Oh yeah, right here. See, in the side of the hill? This is the front of one of those, like, crypts. The underground crypts. They built them into the side of the hill.
I didn't realize that one was bricked in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The door's bricked over.
Yeah, the door's bricked over.
So nobody's going in there.
No. Nope. But it's too muddy to walk down there. There are some blue jays. Oh, there's a bunch of... I got a close-up of them. There's one, but there's two down here. You hear the woodpecker?
Yeah, I did. Or something. I assume it's a woodpecker. Could be a call or something.
We were over at Mom's grave a while ago. It's over in this area, and across the way, I'll try to pan slowly so I don't make you sick, is this big pond. And what?
Is that big turtle?
Big turtle.
Right there next to that cut-in?
Oh yeah, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can zoom in on the turtle. I haven't found a big turtle. Right.
I mean, that's what it looks like from here.
Right there. I don't know if the camera, there we go.
There's another big one. He just went in the water.
Yep, right there. See his little head up? His head's poking up right there. Right. I'm trying to get my finger right there. But the reason we walked over here is because I noticed this bush all the way over from where we were at Mom's. Somebody has put Easter eggs in this bush. And I've just never seen them do that before. And it might be whoever put this bench here, because we haven't walked up to this pond in a while. It used to be, I've talked about this before, it used to be beautiful when they had it fuller, when they kept it full of water. Now they keep the water so low that it has lost its glorious appearance that it had. I mean, truly, it used to be really pretty. But whoever put this bench here, you are my sunshine, maybe they're the ones that decorated this bush for Easter. But I think that's neat. And like I said, it caught my eye from quite a distance. Kevin noticed in the grass, you can see exactly where we walked. The trails, because the grass is wet.
Neither one of us walk straight. You notice that?
No, we don't. We don't walk in a straight line. Yeah. That's funny. When we drove by here earlier, there were lots of people on this road taking pictures, and no one was actually parked on the road. So we'll see if it's the same way now. Yeah, there's people. Yeah, there's people in dresses. There's people all down through here. Yeah,
of course, they got the big
all the way to the very end. There are people down there getting their pictures taken. So, and the trees aren't near as pretty. She's pregnant, getting hers taken. The trees aren't near as pretty now as they were last week.
No, there's hardly any color left, hardly.
Yeah. Last week I showed these flowers, this ground cover, and it looks white from afar, but they kind of have a pinky color in them. So I'm gonna step over here. I said I would get a close up of them.
They're like a pinkish purple color, like streaks in there.
Yeah,
those are pretty.
Yeah, that's what they look like up close. So if anyone knows,
then they got the purple ones next to it.
Yeah, if anyone knows what they are, then you can let me know. But they're very pretty.
They're very, very pretty.
Yeah, somebody had said I can't tell what it was if you could get closer to them. So I thought, well, I'll try to get those again. I honestly didn't think that they would be out. So it looks like the garden is just starting.
Yeah, some of them are out, some of them aren't.
Yeah,
the ones down there are really out.
Oh yeah, up here. But if you live locally and you come next week, it'll be even better. Next week will be better because all of these should be out by next week. And then you have the daffodils around this little pond.
The pond that right in.
And there's a mom up here with her kids taking pictures.
I don't think they really do.
They used to do something with the pond. Yeah, a lot of people like to come out here and get Easter pictures. Ashley thinks it's boring coming here. She said it's the same every year. Oh yeah, you're right. Well, we have seen people in costumes out here.
Like they popped it, like one of those poppers. They were taking pictures and they, I don't know, what is that?
Yeah, see, this is the star.
We may have had an Easter basket out here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
With the grass.
I love all the color.
The reds are really.
They're very vibrant, aren't they?
Really stand out. Look, these are just, I mean, oh, yeah. They're very low to the ground.
Uh-huh. Maybe they're a different breed?
The leaves even look different.
So they must not be tulips then, huh?
No, I think they're tulips. See, they're pink.
Yeah.
They're just different, well, I don't know. Different style of tulip, maybe?
Yeah, because they're short.
Yeah, they look like tulips.
Look at this tree.
Even on the inside, they look like trees. See? That's the bee tree. The bees love this tree.
And over there's pink in the distance. That's about all that's out now. But like I said, if you come next week,
Orange, yellow ones in there.
if you come next week, they'll be out. So I wanted to show you this side. When we first came to the cemetery, I was showing you the tulips and showing you where the bathroom is, and I was standing right up there. So I was showing you that the crypt was made into the side of the hill. This is the one that was right down from us that you couldn't see. And if Kevin goes forward just a little bit, we'll be able to, yeah, we'll be, or maybe backwards, we'll be able to see that door. Yeah, there we go. And there are others down there, and we've walked around all of them. There's probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 down there. And Christina was pregnant the last time, pregnant with Gavin, the last time I think we walked around there. There is a Folgers Cafe over here. You all can't see the sign now because we've pulled up. But it's a Folgers Cafe. And we're in Mount Sterling, Kentucky. I don't think I've ever vlogged here before. I know I haven't. But yeah, it's been a long time since we've been in Mount Sterling. But Ashley's friend is getting married today. There's their McDonald's. I haven't seen striped awnings like that before.
It's pretty.
But Ashley's friend's getting married today, and so we've come over here. We were invited to the wedding as well. And a couple weeks ago, Ashley and I went to her bridal shower together. So you might have, I talked about that. I did a blog post on that.
What's your phone?
My phone just went down between the seat.
Should have on to that matter.
Huh?
Should have on to that matter.
I know. Well, I didn't realize it would slide off. So anyway, they have a lot of restaurants over here, quite a few. But right now we're going to the venue, so I'll show you what it's like. Oh, there's their Ollie's, okay. Because people had been telling me that they have an Ollie's over here, and I didn't. Now we know where it's at. They have a J.C. Penney, Hibbert Sports. So this is their Walmart, and it looks huge. I don't know why. It looks a lot bigger than ours.
Might be one of those big ones.
Yeah, I mean that's like an extra big Walmart, and they have AT&T, Sally, GameStop, and I'm not even showing you the stuff on the other side of the road. Oh, a Lowe's.
Car lots.
Yeah, they have a lot of car lots out here. I don't remember Mount Sterling being this big, but we haven't been in so very, very long that I'm sure a lot of this is new. Like that Subway over there. Over here they have a Kroger, and they have a Barks Outlet. They have a Radio Shack. Circle K.
That Radio Shack's not actually there.
They have a Circle K. They have a Goodwill. Oh, and there's more up here. There's a CVS. Oh, there's a whole like row of shops over here. Fresh donuts. Kelly Services. And that CVS is huge. I feel like that's bigger than the one that they just built in Winchester. Oh, and there's their Dollar General. So this is the Clay Community Center in Mount Sterling, and this is where Jennifer's going to get married today.
It's called Galloping Gourmet.
Galloping Gourmet, that's its name.
On ring security tonight, please welcome Mr. Cooper. And introducing as junior bridesmaid, please welcome Izzy. And our officiant for this evening, Dusty. And please welcome bridesmaid, Rachel. And groomsman, Austin. Jane and groomsman Bradley. Please welcome bridesmaid Ashley and groomsman Dalton. Please welcome bridesmaid Tami and groomsman John. For bridesmaid Ashley and best man Lamar. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and honor to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Mark Davidson.
It was no accident. Me finding this truth.
Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. Cha-cha, real smooth. To the left. Take it back there, y'all. 5 hops this time. Right to the left side.
But the good news is here in just a little bit, we're going to get the only little match up here. Alright? Alright, so you guys get ready, alright? Alright. Here we go. Alright, are we ready to go?
So you just saw the footage of the wedding, and it's funny because there were, Ashley was the maid of honor, but there was another bridesmaid that looks very similar to Ashley. As a matter of fact, I told her, I said, they were standing together, and I said, you all look like you could be sisters, because of course they were wearing the same dresses, but they both have long hair. The other girl has longer hair than Ashley, but they both look very, very similar to each other. So in some of that video, I think especially towards the end when Ashley was dancing, you probably saw her dancing next to Ashley. But they look a lot alike. But I wrote more about, I did a blog post and I wrote more about the wedding, like what we had to eat and things like that. So I did a blog post on that. But we had a really good time. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was funny because I ran into one of my old neighbors immediately following the ceremony. I ran into him and had not seen him in probably a good 15 years. And I said, hi, how are you doing? And I said, you look great. And I gave him a big hug, and he said, hi. And that was about all he said. So I thought, well, you know, the person that he was with when I knew him, they divorced. And I thought, well, maybe he just doesn't want to talk to me much because he feels like that's funny, because I'm still in contact with his ex-wife, because I see her more frequently than I see him. I haven't seen him in so many years. And I thought, well, maybe he just feels funny talking to me because I'm still friends with the ex-wife. But I mean, that's never been an issue with him before, so it seemed odd, but I didn't think any more of it. I thought maybe he just didn't have anything to say to me. So we're sitting at the table, and they're calling table by table numbers up to get their food, to get in line to get their food, because there was like, gosh, there was probably like, I don't know, it seems like there were like 22 tables, 22 or 23 tables of people. It was a lot of people there. But he got up to get his food, and I saw him. All of a sudden I looked and I saw him, and he said, I just this minute know who you are. He said, I didn't know who you are. Had no clue who you were, and it finally dawned on me. He was like, how do I know these people? I know them. How do I know these people? And it finally dawned on him who we are. So I got to thinking about it after he said that. And you know, during a wedding with a lot of music and there was a lot of people around and stuff, it doesn't give you the opportunity to have a real conversation with somebody. But I don't think he had seen me since I had lost weight. And so that's how long ago it had been. Because I lost weight in 2007. So I don't think he had seen me since before then. And so I looked like a completely different person when I was heavier. I just did. And I didn't even realize how different I looked, but I looked quite a bit different. And so I'm sure that's why he didn't recognize either one of us, because Kevin was heavier at the time too. You know, we were both living our best life every night at dinner and all during the day. Yeah, so that's why he didn't recognize us. But I thought it was cool that he knows Jennifer, who is Ashley's best friend, and that he was there at the wedding. So anyway, but that's that. So we had a blast. I enjoyed it very much. But I wanted to tell you all what happened to me. Oh, it's been over a week ago. It was like March... what was the date? Like March 20, I'll say March 24th or 25th. So we're going back a little bit. March 24th or 25th, I started getting, the end of my nose started getting red. And I thought, oh, maybe I have a little bump coming up on my nose. I mean, I haven't had a bump on my nose in years and years and years. I just haven't. But I thought, well, maybe it didn't look like it. I didn't see any signs of any kind of bump coming up, but I thought I'll just squeeze it a little bit. So I squeezed it, barely squeezed it, because in my mind, it didn't look like it was going to be a bump anyway. So I just like if this was my nose, I just barely squeezed it and nothing was coming out. So I thought, this isn't a bump. I'm going to leave this alone, because the tip of my nose was getting so red that it was starting to concern me, and it wasn't going away. And the skin felt very, very tight. It felt as though I had been out in the sun. And if you've ever had a sunburn, especially on your nose, then the skin gets very, very tight feeling, and it's sore. And that's how it felt. But I hadn't been out in the sun, and I hadn't gotten a sunburn. And so it was of a concern to me. So it was looking over the next few days, it looked worse and not better. So I called a dermatologist and made an appointment with the dermatologist.
So we're on the way to my doctor's appointment. It is at Dermatology Associates of Lexington. I've never been here before. I've never actually gone to a dermatologist before in my life. So I know I have not explained anything to you. I have not told you what's going on at all. But no, I think it's up there. I think up here. Yeah. His name is on the, that. So we're going to, we're going to go in this building. And there's parking places up here too. Yeah, there's a bunch up here. We're gonna go in here, and then when we get out, I figured I'd wait till we get out to tell you what's going on with me, just because I'll be able to tell you what they did for me.
So I'm gonna show you the picture of how my nose looked when I went to the dermatologist. This is how it looked when I walked in. So now I'm going to show you when I left. What he did was he took 2 samples on like 2 different cotton Q-tips, cotton swabs. So when I left the doctor's office, it had started bleeding because he really dug at it. So once that blood dried, this is how it looked. So you could see that by him digging at it, it did make it look a lot worse, but he had to do that in order to send samples off to find out what it was. He he named something that he said it was, and I kept wanting I said, Kevin, are you going to remember the name of that? And the doctor said, oh, it just basically means that the skin was dry. And so whatever that word was, I was hoping he would actually write it down for me, and he didn't. A lot of doctors will offer, when they're saying, this is what you have, they'll write it down for you. Here, this is what it is, or this is the name of the medicine, or whatever. He did not offer to do that, but he wrote me out 3 prescriptions. I had 2 different prescriptions. I can't take amoxicillin because it makes me sick. It makes me really sick. A penicillin or amoxicillin. Even with food, I cannot keep it down. It just makes me sick. So he ordered, one was a prescription for Bactrim, and then one was a prescription for something else like that. And then he ordered a prescription cream. And he told me to come home, and I was to take part vinegar and part water. It told you how much to take, and you would soak the tip of your nose, soak it for 10 minutes at a time, and then once that dried, you were to put the cream on it, and you were to do that 3 times a day. So I was taking the medicine by mouth twice a day, and then I was doing the cream 3 times a day. And so no one mentioned anything about last week's vlog. but my face was never in last week's vlog at all. And I don't know if no one caught on to it. Hey, and if you didn't, that's terrific. You know, that's great. Because I was trying to, what I would do is, we did review videos, even though my tip of my nose was literally black. I put makeup on the tip of my nose very thick. And when we're doing review videos, the camera sits back far enough to where I was hoping during those review videos, you wouldn't be able to tell. And Kevin's like, oh, these are gonna be on big televisions. People are gonna be able to tell. And I'm like, well, I can't tell when I look in the, you know, I can't tell. And we have to keep doing those reviews or I get behind. And so that's what I did. I put the makeup on, I put it on really, really thick. But once the review video was over, I would take it back off. I would immediately take the makeup off so that I could have the cream on it so that it would get better. So the reason my face wasn't in last week's vlog at all is because I didn't keep my makeup on, and it was the tip of my nose was black, and I looked horrible. I mean, it was really scary. It looked like, you know, you hear about these people having these flesh-eating bacteria. That's what it looked like. It literally, in the second picture that I showed you, it actually got worse looking than that. It truly, the whole tip of my nose looked black. The scab on the end was very, very thick, and the reason that the scab went away, we had to go to that wedding. So the day before the wedding, Kevin and I were getting ready to do a review, and I was putting makeup on that scab because we were going to do the review, and it came off. And I did not do it on purpose at all, but it came off. So it was like, hallelujah, praise the Lord, because I was going to go to that wedding looking horrible. I mean, I didn't even want to go at that point, but I couldn't cancel because they had already paid. They were paying for our dinner, for goodness sakes, and there was no way. I didn't want to miss it, and I didn't want to do that to Jennifer, but I just looked horrible, and I thought, she's not gonna want somebody looking horrible like that at her wedding, you know, that she's not gonna want to look at me. But I was so glad when that scab came off, because you could tell something was going on with my nose, and you probably can now. I don't have any makeup on my nose at all right now. As a matter of fact, I've had cream on it, so it's probably glistening glistening on this video, but so it's getting better. I looked up, I was supposed to go back a week later, and I did not want to go back, and I'm not going to get into that, but I just didn't want to go back, and so I didn't go back. And at that point, I could tell it was getting better anyway. Normally, I'm not like that. Normally, I do go back to the doctor. In this case, I just didn't want to. So, it was getting better though. So, little by little, it is, it's much, much better now because I'm sitting in front of you with no makeup on. But when we do a review, when Kevin gets home this afternoon and we do a review, I'll put makeup on so that it won't look as red as it probably looks to you all. But when I wake up in the morning, it looks dry on the end. When I had that scab on the end of it, it looked like it had been mauled by a dog. And Ashley said, yeah, you're right, that is what it looks like. It looked like a dog got a hold of the end of my nose, because I've seen people like that and that have gotten bit. That's what it looked like. It was really, truly ugly. So, but I looked up my medical records online because they have the patient portal, and you can get on there and you can look it up. And if it had shown anything, because I did that before I was supposed to go back a week later, the results were in like a couple of days after I had he had first taken the samples. if it had shown anything, I would have gone back even though I didn't want to, but it didn't show anything. It literally, both results came back no growth. No growth at all. So, which meant basically they didn't know what was going on. And I had asked the doctor, I said, why do you think, what caused this? And he said, just bad luck. Just bad luck. But he said that your nose just naturally carries things like MRSA and bacteria and things like that. So if you get a little scratch on your nose, you can very, very easily get an infection. And what I'm wondering is, I'm not blaming Chapel, our cat. I'm not blaming him at all. However, he has been sleeping with me almost every single night on my pillow. And I remember one night after this had happened, him getting up next to me and him kneading the pillow. You know how they'll sit there for 10 minutes and they'll knead. And he was right next to my face. And I remember he just barely touched the tip of my nose where it was sore. And he didn't scratch it or anything, but he touched it. And the thought came to me, I thought, is that what happened? Could he have gotten up there in the middle of the night and scratched it? And you know, cats carry litter under their claws. It's just, I know cats are clean, but all cats have, they get in that litter box, and we keep the litter box clean, but they get in that litter box and they're scratching through that litter box. You know they have bacteria under their nails. He could have very easily come up to me at night and nicked the end of my nose, and that would have been all it took for this to happen to me. So I seriously considered vlogging while this was going on and showing you actively how horrific it looked, but I didn't. I just I just felt really ugly. I felt I felt really bad about myself, and so I wanted to cover it up. All I wanted to do was cover it up, and I didn't go anywhere. Our grocery haul was not what it normally is that week, last week, because we hadn't been anywhere. I know Kevin had gone to the store a couple of times, and then it seems like at the very end of the week, at the end of that haul, Kevin and I had gone together, and I just thought, you know, I'm just gonna go looking like this. It seems like that was the day that scab came off, and it still looked red. It still looked bad. I wouldn't have wanted to run into anybody, but it was much better than it had been. So it was like, you know, I can live with this. So I did end up getting groceries, picking up groceries at the end of the week. But like at the beginning of that haul video, I think I did a haul. Ashley did Party City. Thank goodness she had bought stuff at Party City, because that video would have been about this big. But so I just added that as part of that haul, because that's why we hadn't been to the store, and we didn't go, like we went to the cemetery and stuff like that, but we haven't gone anywhere. We haven't gone to any stores or anything like that, just because I haven't wanted to be seen. But that was my first trip to the dermatologist. I don't ever want to have to go again, though. There were a lot of people in that practice, and I was very fortunate that I could get in so quickly, because I called and I told the lady on the phone, I said, look, this is getting worse every day. I said, I need to find some place to go, because I had called a couple places and they were like, you can get in, but it's going to be months from now. And so I told this place, I said, this is getting worse every single day. And I can't imagine what it would be like right now if I had not gone in and gotten medicine. I can't imagine waiting, because it was just getting worse and worse and worse. So anyway, that's my nose story. I know that's a weird story to tell right after you got finished watching Ashley have fun dancing at a wedding. And hopefully you can spot her in some of those dances. She was kind of like, hidden behind people, but I didn't want to stand up and film. I was actually filming from our table and I was like zoomed in, but I didn't want to stand up because I didn't want to call attention to let people know that I was filming, because Jennifer had hired a professional videographer, and so that person was taking video. So you don't ever want to have your phone out or be videoing, or I don't think you should when she's hired someone else to do that, because you don't want to be doing that in the video. So I tried to stay in the back and get a little bit of video for you all, just because I knew you would enjoy it. And I figure if Ashley ever watches this years from now, she'll enjoy it too. I wanted to talk to you all about this Rachel Ray food really quick. Kevin, last time he went to the store, I sent him to get some Rachel Ray food for Guido. And so when he came back, he had bought 2 boxes. I'm sure you all, if you watched the grocery haul, you saw the boxes. He bought 2 boxes of this food in the grocery haul, and it's the wrong kind. I've never bought it because I could tell by looking at the package, those are huge packages compared to what we normally buy. So this is how big they are, and they are for either big dogs. You're going to get these for a big dog, or you're going to feed your smaller dog twice, because this is the first night I gave Guido one of these. I gave him a whole container, and it is a lot of food. I mean, a ton of food. So the next night I gave him half of it, but I am not going to give Guido any more of this food. It is literally like, you can't tell through the package, but it is like I took regular food, and I've said this about the other kind of Rachel Ray food that I get. It's like I took regular food and just cut it into pieces. It's like you get real pieces of peas and stuff like that. And so anyway, I'm going to even though I've opened 1 box, but this box has not even been opened. But even though it hasn't been opened, we're not going to take it back to Walmart. We could. It was probably $10. But we're going to give it to Onyx, which is Andrew and Christina's dog, so that Onyx can enjoy it, because he will. And he is a big dog, so he will eat 1 of these without any problem at all, and probably still want his own food, because he's just really big. But the reason I'm not giving it to Guido anymore is because it gives him gas. And when I say gas, I mean horrible gas that will make your body tense up and you won't want to breathe in that room. It's just like, when he first did it, Kevin and I were looking around on the floor thinking, okay, where is he dumped out on the floor? Because it was so toxic that like he will clear a room. So it's not worth it. No, we're not giving it to him anymore. Kevin's going back to Walmart this afternoon when he leaves work, and he's getting the little bowls. They're small bowls. They come in instead of a square box like this, they come in a long box. And yeah, so they're much smaller and no gas. These, at least for Guido, they cause horrible gas. So when I give this to Andrew and Christina, I'm not going to tell them about the gas, and we'll just see what happens. I love these purple flowers in our front yard. And I know Kevin would probably say that they're weeds, but I don't care. I love them. He's getting ready to mow the yard, and I hate it that he's going to be mowing. I hate it that he's going to be mowing over these, because aren't they pretty? But I wanted to show you
what's in the backyard.
I know, the ones that Ashley just bought. So we have this peony, and then we have the one back there, and we have one here. And John was telling me, oh, it didn't. Wonder why.
It looks like somebody dug it up.
It does look like somebody dug it up. John was telling me that his mom has them, and that he was thinking, or she was thinking, that these are close together. But I told him, I said, well, our thought was, we've never planted anything from a bulb. We didn't really have any faith that they would ever work. So that's why we decided to plant them all in one spot. And so we have 3 coming up now. So we're gonna have one massive peony bush.
We can always move them.
Yeah, I doubt I will. And look back here. I planted this bleeding heart last year, and it's very, very hardy. This will be the bleeding heart. I don't know if I'll get any hearts this year on it, but maybe I will next year. But yeah, it's very, very hardy. But see, you'll be able to see these better from this angle. See how tall that's gotten? It's grown pretty quickly, so I'm impressed with it. And this is why Kevin's getting ready to mow. See, our neighbors next door, they mowed, and so when one person mows, it makes everyone else look really, really bad. But to be fair, this is some tall, tall grass. That time of year again where I need to wipe off this table too. So you can see this is really, really thick on here. So I will actually wipe that off, and I'll wipe these the arms off too, because the arms on here are filthy. Miss Ashley just got home from work.
It's me.
It's her. That's her, Ashley. Here goes all my little purple flowers. They're all gonna disappear. No, actually there's some left. This grass is so tall out here that Kevin's having to go really, really slow or it'll die. Wait until he gets over to this grass. He won't, that lawnmower won't know what hit it. Look at all her pretty flowers. Oh yeah, look at the pretty tulips. All the different colors. I love them. Love them. And all the trees. We've been looking as we've gone to Walmart and places like that, that all the trees have their pink blooms. You get dark pink and light pink. Look how pretty this is. It's beautiful. This tree is beautiful too, and it's a light pink color, but look at the bark on it. It's really, really beautiful. And then these, I don't know what kind of tree this is, but yeah, it's very interesting.
With a little dangly.
And then this is the one, this one hasn't started coming out yet. Yeah, they look like big long green beans. Yeah, that's how big they get. They get really, really long. Yeah, they look like green beans. Well, unfortunately, not everyone watches the vlogs, and I totally get it. Some people just like to watch the review videos, and they don't want to see personal stuff. But the reason I'm saying it's too bad is because I want to update you all on a product, and if you don't watch, you know, if you watch the review videos and you don't watch the vlogs, you know, sometimes I mention products, foods that we try in the vlog, and you would just miss this. But I bought these Nutri-Grain bars. These are the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain bars, and this is the cherry. And I bought the cherry because the cherry has always been my favorite. So I have eaten almost an entire box. I have one left, and they come with 8, so I've eaten 7. And with every bar, I have just thought, gosh, the cherry in these is not like what it used to be. It used to be a very, very flavorful, powerful, strong cherry flavor. And So if you were to try these now, if you were to try these, you would be disappointed. In the video, we did the review video. I'm looking at it. November 1st, 2016 is when it was posted. So not that long ago, November 2016. And I don't know what they did with the flavor, but the flavor, the cherry flavor, is gone. It really, truly is. As a matter of fact, it's so light that I don't know that I would realize it was cherry. That's just the truth, because it's like, what are these again? Oh, these are supposed to be my favorites. These are cherry. So I just watched a little bit of the video to see what some of the differences are, and I can tell you just a few of the differences in numbers that I mentioned in the video and what's on the box now. The fiber in 2016 was 3 grams. The fiber now is 1 gram. The sugars in 2016 were 12 grams. Now they're 13 grams, which 1 gram of sugar, it's not making any difference because I don't think they're any sweeter for sure. The calories, though, is a big difference. In 2016, they were only 120 calories. Now they're 130 calories. So that's what's got me puzzled, is they've gone up 10 additional calories, but the flavor has gone down. The flavor is totally diminished from these. So they still are made with real fruit, no artificial flavors, colors from artificial sources. It was the same thing back in 2016. So that hasn't changed. I don't know what they've changed about these, but they lack the flavor that they did have. So that's the only bad thing about review videos, is like when things change, and they will change, because for some reason companies can't leave things the same. It's like you've got a good product, it's selling off the shelves, people are absolutely adoring it, and then you go and mess it up. I know it comes down to the bottom dollar. I know that's what it comes down to. It comes down to cost. So, but I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in these. And people who find my channel, who go back and watch this video from 2016, if you've never had a Nutri-Grain bar, you would watch my expression on this video and you would think, oh gosh, that must be an awesome cherry flavor. And then they go out and buy it today, 2019, and they're thinking, I'm not getting that flavor that she said that it had in that video. Well, you have to take in consideration when the video was posted too. And that is not just with these, that is with other products as well. So other foods as well. Things change, companies change, and so for me, these are still good. Yes, they're still good. But do they have the cherry flavor that they did have? Absolutely not. They're to me, it's like a night and day what they are now and what they used to be. I want to show you one more thing before I let you go for the week. Earlier I talked about the Guido's Rachel Ray food and how those bowls were way too big, and we were going to give them to Andrew and Christina, and we're still going to when we see them. But Kevin went to a different Walmart in the next town over, and they didn't have that Rachel Ray food either that we normally buy. So when we go shopping this weekend, if we go to Meijer or wherever, I will look for it at other places, and if I don't see it, then I will make it I will make it a priority to go to PetSmart and see if PetSmart has it, because he really likes it, and I'll just buy like three boxes of it so that we'll have it for a while, because I think you only get like 9 in each container, and he only eats 1 a day, but 9, that's only 9 days. So I told Kevin, I said, well, why don't you go ahead and get the Caesar? So I wanted to show you, we went back to the Caesar, and I like the ones, I've said this before, with the see-through base. The ones with the solid base, the white, they're white and you can't see through them, they are more like Spam. And there's nothing wrong with that, you just break it up. But I like getting these because number one, Guido likes it. And number two, it has a lot of liquid in there, and Chapel likes to eat the liquid. So we can, you know, Guido, not only at dinner time does Guido get something, but then Chapel gets the liquid. So Kevin bought him turkey, green beans, and potatoes. He bought him the limited edition glazed ham because even Guido has to eat limited edition food. He bought him slow cooked chicken and vegetables, T-bone steak, and grilled New York strip. He also had one last night, and I don't know what flavor he had, but we're so weird with Guido. Guido probably could care less. I don't know if he eats a different flavor every night, but we care that he eats a different flavor every night. So we always want to give him something different. And when I buy like the Rachel Ray, there are three different flavors, and there's 3 of each flavor, but I make sure that he gets a different one every single night, just because it's like, well, I don't want him to get tired of it, or, you know, or get used to it, and, you know, so we make sure that he gets something different every night. But I'm going to end the vlog now. Thank you for watching. If you've held in this long, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.